Hello and welcome to another episode of what I have decided to name Photo Talks. That is after I did the first video where I went through 10 pictures of Kenya and then I did another video of 10 pictures. And I thought actually this would be a good idea maybe to have friends of mine who are also content creators, people who've traveled, and they can also show us their pictures. And today I'm joined with Collins. I'm sure you've seen Collins in my previous videos, especially the Ololokwe and Mount Kenya ones. If you haven't, you should check that out first. And yeah, Collins is, he's a Kenyan, obviously, but he's also an avid traveler. So maybe, let me stop doing the introduction and you can introduce yourself quickly.
First of all, I didn't expect to introduce myself.
Well,
It's always the difficult part, but I have to. So I started taking photos in 2020 after uni, after I graduated. So that's when I started to merge photography and travel.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2020 and 2021. Back then I was taking photos on my phone.
Yeah.
And then
We all do.
yeah, we all start there.
Yeah.
I think we should all start there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and then I got a camera and
What camera do you currently use?
I use the Canon M50. Yes, I have the Canon M50 with the kit lens, 15 to 45.
Yeah.
3.5 is the largest aperture it can open to.
Yes.
Very good with stabilization. That lens, it's an EOSM. It's an EFM mount. Iko na stabilization poa.
Interesting. Well, I'm a Sony person personally. Yeah, I like Sony. I've shot with a Nikon. My first camera was a Nikon D3400. Yes. No, either it's a D3400 or D5300. Then I tried Canon for just a short time, but I was like, I don't know. I couldn't click with Canon for some reason. I don't know why. So I just moved to Sony.
To Sony. I used your Sony at Mount Ololokwe.
Yeah.
And I loved the experience at Sony. I feel that the parts are high quality.
Yeah.
And also the optics. I think it's the sensor or the processor. I'm not sure what it is.
Just next level.
Yeah, it's something else. Yeah, because even if you check my feed, the photos I posted from Mount Ololokwe were shot on the Sony. Most of them were shot on the Sony.
Yeah.
Because back then I was using the 15 to 45 kit lens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kit lens they are good for starting out.
Yeah.
But at some point I think someone has to upgrade to either a zoom lens or a prime lens.
Yeah, you kept asking me whether I've gotten a prime lens.
Weirdly enough, I think I'm going to stick with zoom lenses because as much as prime lenses are good, I think zoom lenses are better because of the reach. You can zoom to whatever you want.
Yeah.
But prime lenses, again it depends. If you're more into, I think, portrait shots, definitely prime is the way to go.
It's the way to go.
But if you're going, let's say, to the Masai Mara, you want to shoot wildlife, then you quickly realize that prime really limits you. And speaking of Instagram, I do love your Instagram because you somehow managed to crack having a consistent feed with like a consistent color theme, which is something I've never managed to do. Is it something you put much attention to it?
Yeah, I do. To be very honest, I do. I'm very intentional with my edits.
Yeah.
I have a second page where I usually preview the grid weeks before I post on the main page.
That is dedication.
Yeah. The archived posts on that second account, it's insane. It's a whole other grid.
Yeah.
I open that archive and I'm like, really, these shots would have been on the main grid, but I'm
like, no, not yet, not worth it.
Yeah, I'm so mental with that, and I still feel like there's an aspect that I haven't nailed, because if you check the grid, I don't have long-lasting color schemes. For example, I'd ideally like to have more than 9 posts that have a similar color scheme, instead of having 6 that have the same color scheme.
Yeah.
But somehow all of those color schemes, they blend together because I edit using my presets, and these presets, they grow over time. I refine them over time. So you find that an older photo has some characteristics that a newer photo has inherited, because it's the same series of presets that I've been using.
Well, that is more than impressive. And like me, who I just look at a picture, I'm like, yeah, this fits Instagram, post it. And yeah, I think that's a good place to start with your first picture, because you're reviewing your 10 best, not really like the best, I'm assuming your
it's the
best
first 10
pictures also change.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say that, oh, these are my best, maybe we'll check that after like 60 years. What's your first photo?
So the first photo, I picked the oldest photo that I like. Because it marks the beginning of my journey, merging photography and adventure.
And another thing, I haven't seen any of these pictures. Maybe I've seen them before on Instagram, assuming he posted them on Instagram, but I know nothing about them.
Yeah.
So
airdropping him as we speak. This is the first time he's seeing them.
Nice. So that looks like Mount Kenya or Abadeas.
So yeah, that's actually the Abadeas. And this photo is, the attachment I have with this photo is that it was my first solo trip.
Yeah.
It was the first solo trip I ever did. I'd hiked before to Mount Longonot with a group. And then I documented the journey, the hike, and people resonated with it. Before then I hadn't used Instagram to connect with people. But after your trip, guys started reaching out and commenting, oh, that was nice, and I just started to get to know hikers, and so it just lit a fire in me. I borrowed my dad's car, set out mapema sana, and so I was living in Nyahururu at the time. And I was meeting with my friends. Andrew, he's called Andrew Thuku, I'm sure you've seen him.
I think I've seen his pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram. And Kinoti, they were coming from Nairobi, I was coming from Nyahururu, so I didn't have anyone to carpool with. So I set off at around 5:30 a.m. And it was just nice. I remember.
I like the picture, especially the birds on the right side.
Yes.
There's something to it, and then there's one bird in the.
And then there's that bird sitting in the middle of the road.
And the vibandas on your left.
It was.
And it's an interesting picture because even like I can see a lot of towns outside Nairobi tend to look the same, and they have this kind of architecture called Dukawala, I think. Like you can see the shop on the right, the Safaricom shop. That is usually like the architecture that is in rural towns. I don't know if you've never noticed it.
But I never knew it has a name.
They're called Dukawalas. That it started back in, I think, like the 1890s, 1910, 1920, thereabouts, when the Indians came to Kenya, and then during the period when they were building the railway line.
That's when these buildings were first
built. Started coming.
This design.
But I like the picture and the fog in the distance.
Yes, and then just the road is a leading line that leads straight to the mountain.
Symmetry. You have to achieve symmetry in a picture, unless it's intentionally like you're trying to frame something else.
And there's something else. So it's something that it's already in our minds that we know it, but they're usually poles, the steamer. Everywhere along the roads in Kenya. So I had to.
Poles.
It had poles. Obviously, it had poles.
Edited all of them out.
I removed them because they were distractions.
I
had to remove them, and
Wow, that's impressive. Oh, quick question: what are you drinking?
I'm having my favorite KO. It's lime and ginger. This is my favorite one.
Oh, that's the lime. It's not alcoholic, huh?
It's slightly.
The ciders. I did a video of KO. We reviewed like I don't know how many beers. I think there were like 10 of them. With the lady, her name is Phyllis. She has a channel called Beers and I. So we decided to do that. Even though I don't drink, I was like, I'll just try to do it for a video.
So I remember that video, and that's why before I got here, I asked you whether I get you one.
Well, unfortunately, I don't drink, so I'm having Minute Menju is boring. I didn't have the time to do my whole tea thing.
Purple tea.
Purple tea. So yeah, moving on to picture number 2.
Picture number 2. Okay. So this photo I took at Oloiden.
Oh, Oloiden campsite.
Yeah. You've camped there?
Yeah, several times.
I remember seeing your vlog. You had the Mobius.
With the Mobius, a group of like 5 guys. We hiked Mount what's it called? Mount Longonot, came down, and then we went straight to Oloiden. It's one of my favorite campsites. It's a beautiful campsite.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it's far.
Yeah, it's far, and it has one of the worst roads ever.
It's so
because
far.
of the potholes.
Yeah, because the road ends. The new road ends.
Yeah, the new road ends, and then now it's just potholes. You'll be like dancing checkers all the way to the place, and at night you can see hippos just crossing.
Yes, yes. Even foxes. It's a wild place.
Never met a fox.
It's a wild place.
Oh, giraffes! You can meet giraffes.
Even I haven't seen
because
a giraffe.
they come from what's the national park?
Hell's Gate.
Yeah, from Hell's Gate. So sometimes they are close to that area. Yeah, show us the picture number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a beautiful picture. I think you posted this on Instagram.
Yeah, but 4x5 crop.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll repost it again now with the 16
with the
to
wide,
9.
Yeah. This is, what time was this?
This was early in the morning. This was around 6.
Yeah, that's a spot on picture.
Yeah. So you can see the fishermen there.
Yeah.
I have another one, another copy of the same one.
Oh, okay.
It has something was sticking out from here, and I thought it just gives it depth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wait, you have it there?
I think I do. No, I don't have it, but I have a closer one where you can see the fishermen.
Yeah, that's. Yeah,
on the boat.
How good are you at waking up early?
I am terrible at waking up early. I'm
Yeah.
terrible. And so with this photo, I don't have many sunrise photos.
Okay.
With this photo, I didn't sleep. And we were just chatting through the night, and then in the morning, the sunrise just found us sitting in front of the campsite. And so I just wandered close to the fence at Oloiden.
Yeah.
And there was some haze coming from the water.
Yeah.
It's the white parts that you can see, and it was just perfect. And
I agree.
was shot on the kit lens.
Yeah.
It was shot on the 15 to 45.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Like I like like what you're saying, the separation or the depth. Like there's the water, and then there's the boats, and then now there's the hill.
Yeah.
So that's like actually there's like a forest, and then the hill, so that's like 4 different layers.
Yeah, and then beyond the hill you can now see the skies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it almost, you'll only know it's morning because of the mist, because in the evening it's next to impossible to see mist on water.
To find mist, yeah.
So okay, yeah, that is impressive. Yeah, Oloiden, if you're a Kenyan, not even a Kenyan, if you're in Kenya, you need to visit Oloiden campsite. It's a nice place, and it's affordable. It's only like camping there, if you have your gear, is only like 1,000 shillings.
Yeah, maybe,
So
or
that's
cheaper,
like
I'm not sure.
$8 if you have your camping gear. If you don't have your camping gear, that one it might be like around $20, or let's say 1,500 shillings. So they'll give you all the gear they have. They'll give you a tent,
a mattress,
and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Oloiden, it's a very nice location. I think I should go there
Again. Yeah. Even Fisherman's, if you don't want to go all the way to Oloiden,
True.
just stop by Fisherman's.
Yeah, just along that road there's several campsites.
Yeah.
Which you can, all of them are overlooking the lake. So either Oloiden or Lake Naivasha.
Yeah.
So there's several, like, I don't know, maybe even 10 or 20 campsites.
There are many places to go there.
Yeah.
There's so many places to go. So you're ready for the next one?
Yes, number 3.
So this is, we spoke about Malaso. When you first started talking, I think it was about Malaso. Was it about Malaso or Ololokwe?
I think it was Ololokwe. Then you were like, oh, we should do Ololokwe, then Doto Mountains, and then Malaso at some point.
Yeah. So you
so
weren't
I've never
there.
been to Malaso.
You weren't available when we went to Malaso.
Yeah, I wasn't around.
So both since we spoke, I've been to Malaso twice. During the first
Wait,
time.
I remember the first time, but the second time where you went, I'm not aware of that.
Now I'm sending you photos from the second time.
Wow, that
There we
is.
go.
I think there's an Instagram post I have which I think my caption for it was Samburu is, what was it? Samburu is an entire postcard, something like that. But because Samburu County, Malaso is in Samburu County, yeah?
Malaso is in Samburu.
It's a very, very hilly place. So it's like almost every side direction you look at, there's a picture you can get out of it.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, I mean,
it's the same
where
thing.
were you at? Yeah?
It's the same thing with the top of Mount Ololokwe.
Yeah.
Because before I went there, I thought that Mount Ololokwe was the solo landmark there, or the largest object there. But you realize there's so many hills around Mount
Ololokwe is only
Ololokwe.
2,000 meters.
Yeah.
And there's others which are like 2,800, 3,000, 3,500 meters high.
Yeah. When you stand just at the viewpoint of Ololokwe and then you look to your right, the hills at Wamba. Yeah. That was something.
Samburu is something else. And this picture, what time did you take this picture again?
I think I took it during the day, in the afternoon at around 2 p.m.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you did more of like editing on it to give it an evening feel.
I did.
More of like a sunset.
Yes, yes. I wanted to give it vibrance because the original photo is washed out.
Yeah.
It was during the middle of the day. It didn't have the ND filter at the time. Which
remind me to give you an ND filter.
A 49 millimeter one.
Exactly, that one. Because awesome. I'm not using it, so yeah, you should have it.
Awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that picture. Yeah, this is Samburu. Like.
Yes. They call it the world's end.
Yeah, I mean, I'm speechless on the view because again, talking about layers, you can see it's just so many hills, and I don't know if you're a hiker. I'm sure you love hiking also.
Yeah.
Sometimes you look at hills and you're like, oh, I wish I could just hike all these hills.
Yes.
So that I can just get the view from the top of that hill.
From each hill, yeah.
But it's next to impossible. Samburu on its own has more than, I think, 500 hills.
Samburu is amazing.
Yeah, so yeah, this is...
Samburu is amazing.
You camped at this place, yeah?
So, we were there for 2 days, for 3 days and 2 nights.
Yeah.
On the first night, we camped at the top of the escarpments, which is where I took this photo.
Oh, so these are the campsites?
These on your way, these are away from the campsite, but it's at the top of the escarpments. Okay. We were actually walking to now start the trek to the bottom of these escarpments. We spent the night here at the bottom there. So it's just an unreal place.
Yeah, Samburu. Like, I mean, Northern Kenya, again, I've said it in all my videos and I keep saying it. Northern Kenya has one of the most striking landscapes you'll ever see in Kenya. Like, hands down, no questions. And again, it's very unique. Like, you'll see a desert, you'll see a forest, you'll see this very hilly place.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see hundreds of elephants actually in Samburu.
Yes.
Because it's famous of having a lot of elephants. I mean, it's a very beautiful picture.
Yeah, and the culture, the people,
exactly,
the people who live there, the Samburu people are just, their culture is just amazing. From this trip, I came back with a Samburu sime.
Yeah, what's that?
A knife.
Yeah.
That has a leather sheath, and then it's all handmade.
Yeah.
It's made from steel. So if you expose it to dew or just air, it starts rusting. It's just a crude tool, but I love it.
Yeah, Samburu is perfection.
So during that trip, I also shot these photos that you've probably seen. You've seen on Awana.
Talk to me about Awana. Awana, it's your company?
Yes, I co-founded Awana with my friend Brian. And
what do you do?
Awana it's our place to connect with people who like to challenge themselves and people who want to live life boldly. Yeah. People who have desires, and instead of wondering when the government will grant you the freedom to pursue your desires, we chase after them no matter what.
Do it.
Yeah, we do it, and it's been growing. We've met so many people, and it will continue to grow. So these are my...
Now, first things first, did you buy a new tent?
Yes, I did. I bought several.
Oh, because I can recognize the Decathlon tent from this picture.
Yeah. And I bought them because of that trip that we did.
Oh, the one we did at Mount Kenya.
Mount Ololoko in Mount Kenya.
Your tent was...
it only has one...
condensation.
Yes, it only has one layer, and that just doesn't cut it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to buy a tent that is double layered, so that when it's, especially in the morning or when it rains, condensation usually builds inside the tent.
Yeah.
And it's very, very uncomfortable. Camping with a tent that is wet is very uncomfortable. I've been rained on inside a tent.
It's not a nice experience.
So invest, because these tents, they're not that expensive. It's like 4,500 shillings.
It's now close to 6,000, but it's a steal for the quality you get.
But 6,000 shillings, that's like, for a foreigner coming into Kenya, that's like $45. So I mean, it's a very, I mean, again, this picture, this is close to Malaso, yeah?
This is actually, now, it's at the campsite now.
At the campsite.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't guess this is Malaso because of the grass. Like, this grass it's almost very tall.
Yeah, it's very tall.
So, that's why I'm almost thrown off, because not Samburu is more of a semi-arid area, most parts, but again, Malaso is on top of a hill.
Yeah,
so
Malaso is...
climate is completely different.
Different, yeah.
And then there with the camping bags, and I love the colors actually for this. It almost looks like a fall picture, even though we don't have fall in Kenya.
Yeah, the oranges, and then you have the teals with the tent.
Yeah.
And then these guys are just positioned perfectly. I have a new term, adventure photography. I don't know whether it's a thing, but for me, what that means is I want you to experience a certain feeling when you look at a photo. I want you to feel like you're there.
Yeah.
And this is just one of those photos that makes you feel like you're in the field with Jimmy and Brian.
I agree. This is an amazing picture. I've even lost count of the numbers. We are going to number...
That was number 3.
Number 3, okay.
Yeah, so we go to number 4 now. This is a photo. Now, those is a kitambo. These are recent one. I think this is the... I think this is the most recent one.
The most recent picture you...
On this list.
Okay, sorry.
On this list, yeah. It's the most recent edit.
And there we go. Ooh, nice. I love giraffes.
Same.
Where is this?
I took this photo at Moya National Reserve.
I've never been to that reserve.
Yeah, people don't usually go there. It's not visited a lot.
Why is that the case though? Is it access, or people just don't know it?
I think it's a matter of people don't know it, because I've mentioned it to a few people, and they say that it's the first time they're hearing about it. So that's definitely one of the contributors.
It has elephants, yeah?
It has elephants, yes.
So that means it's a very huge reserve.
It's not that big, but it packs a lot. It packs a lot, because even Kindaruma Dam is inside the park, and Thiba River.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've never been to this reserve, but I mean, this picture... giraffes are funny animals, sort of, because of the size, and so whatever they do just looks funny to me. I don't know why.
Is it the long necks?
Yeah, maybe it's the long necks.
Ama, you have an etched image of a giraffe drinking water from a stream. That is just a funny pose.
It's a funny pose. And do you know what type of giraffes they are? Can you tell the species?
I can't tell the species.
I think these are, I might be wrong, but I think they are reticulated giraffes. I think I'm wrong, I'm not sure. There's only 3. There's reticulated, there's Maasai giraffes, and there is Rothschild. And you can't find Rothschild in like southern Kenya. those tend to be more on the northern side of Kenya.
Right.
So yeah, I'm guessing either articulated, but yeah, I mean, I like the. Did you use the kit lens on this also?
No, this was actually shot on the 50 millimeters lens,
okay.
the Nifty 50.
Yeah, for the Canon.
Yeah, for Canon.
What f-stop? Like, is it the 1.8 one?
Yes, it's the 1.8 one,
Yeah.
but I didn't shoot on 1.8.
Yeah.
It must have been at 2.8. I'm loving 2.8 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, 2.8 is good.
Yeah.
This is a nice picture. I love giraffes, and I also like the, what are they called? The bird on top of the one behind it.
You know
Small
what?
bird.
I hadn't seen the bird. I hadn't seen the bird.
Yeah.
The reason I like this photo is, on my feed you haven't seen any wildlife.
Yeah, actually I've never. You don't have any.
Yeah, I don't take a lot of
Yeah.
photos the wildlife. And this was great because we drove through the park, and that was also my first driving or park driving experience. Yeah. And yeah, it was just I am currently loving 16:9 crops.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I always love landscape photos for some reason. Actually, most of my pictures tend to be landscape, and then I just crop them to 4x5.
yes,
But 4x5 picture you cannot.
you can't. Yeah.
So I always take pictures in landscape, unless necessary that I have to do it in portrait.
To take a
But
vertical
like
one.
99% of mine are landscape. Then I'll just reframe it to whatever I want. But yeah, I love that picture. That's an amazing one.
Yeah, and also it also marks a different stage of my editing and creation,
Yeah.
because I like to play with colors in posts. I like to use certain grades, but this photo I tried to maintain the natural colors.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because I'd say from all the pictures I've seen, this is a picture that has the most green
yes,
of all the pictures I've seen from you.
yes,
Because yeah, the shrubs behind are still sort of. Yeah, I'm sure you still try to desaturate them a bit, but they're still green. So yeah.
yeah. I actually removed some green using the HSL slider,
Interesting.
and then added some green using the color grading tool.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's a nice one. Moving on to the next one.
Yeah, moving on to the next one. Now that we've mentioned green, I want to show you a photo of an experience that led me to start using green in my photos. And you also haven't seen this photo on my feed.
So this is separate from the 10.
It's part of the
It's
10.
part of the 10,
So
okay,
this is the fifth one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
go the
Yeah.
fifth picture.
Yes. It's also a 16:9.
Yeah. Yeah, where is this?
This is at Congo River.
Oh, Congo River in Diani.
Yes.
Again, another place I haven't been to. I mean, there's so many people it's weird that I've traveled a lot years in Kenya, and people tend to be like, oh, I'm sure you've traveled everywhere. Like, there's nowhere else you'd want to go. And I'm like, if you see my list of places I'd want to go and I haven't, it's like.
It's larger than the places you've
yeah,
gone
the
to.
places I've already been to.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like that. Is it a boat? Is it a door? Whatever. I mean, it looks handmade.
It is handmade.
It is handmade.
It's like they scoop out material from a log.
Yeah, and I've been having this fascination with boats recently. Like, how do I call them? Boats that have been made handmade, but are more cultural. For example, the picture from Lake Baringo.
Yeah.
Is it Baringo, Bulgaria? The picture from Lake Baringo. I really like that boat. And in my last video, I also talked about another boat from Turkana where it's just 3 logs. And then they've tied it with a rope, and that's it.
That's on the
else.
second video.
Yes.
I
So
should watch
just
that
three
video.
three huge logs
Yeah.
in this size, and then they just tie it with a rope, and that's it.
And that's it.
Nothing else. And then they just use like a plastic thing to paddle in the water,
Yeah.
and that is in Lake Turkana,
Yeah.
which has like 1 million crocodiles.
People
So-
are brave out there.
I mean, so again, that also with this boat now, I'm thinking of the contrast from Turkana, the middle, and then now the coastal
The
area
Swahili,
and, the Swahili vibe to it.
Yeah.
And also because it's an ocean, you need the things on the side
On
to
the side,
balance you,
yeah.
sort of.
Yeah. So this is the estuary that leads into the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, nice. What did you use for this picture? The setup?
This was shot on the Sony A7 III.
Oh, that's a good camera.
Yes, it is. it's a great camera.
Yeah.
It's super sharp. I enjoyed editing it. It's
What
like
lens?
child's play. It was a Tamron lens.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact focal length, but I shot it at 2.8.
Yeah.
We shot it at 2.8, and
it's sharp all the way.
yeah,
Like
it's
even if you zoom in to her face,
yes,
or even the board guy
it's
behind,
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that is a picture worth framing.
And just the width of the photo, like we
Yeah.
have the entire boat in the frame, and we also have some space
Yeah.
at the front just to it's
And then you can also see sort of the mangrove forest at the back.
yes.
So these are the channel before you just connect to the ocean.
To the ocean, yes. This is the estuary. It's Congo River, where the famous or the popular Congo River. It's an estuary.
Yeah.
It's where the Congo River enters into Indian Ocean.
Yeah, I've seen a few pictures of what's it called, sunsets from the place,
Yeah.
which also look very nice. And I think there's a campsite just close to the river, because I think I've seen also a few pictures of guys camping next to
Camping
the river.
there.
Yeah.
Well, I can imagine where they'd camp, because there's a nice area where they
Yeah.
have a bar and all. But
Okay.
I didn't camp there. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, this is a very nice picture, and the lady is almost perfectly framed at the center.
Yes.
And this is very sharp. Like, now this
Yeah.
is full frame camera territory.
Yes, it is. Oh my God! It's editing this photo was just easy.
Yeah.
It was easy to play with the colors. So I was editing this photo for a brand.
Okay.
It's called Blue Chip Aviation and Safaris, and we were shooting with Kosi and visuals by Coedge.
Okay.
And so there's a specific color tone that we're using for Blue Chip Aviation.
Yeah.
And just manipulating the colors so that they fit into that color profile.
Yeah.
It was so easy.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Full frame. They are very expensive to get into. Buying the cameras, the lenses, they are very expensive.
Yeah.
But once you're in that like ecosystem of full frame, I think you never want to go back to,
Yeah, I don't
like,
think you
crop
will go back
sensors.
to crop sensors.
unless you. I think one of the best things of crop sensor is especially if you have like let's say a 400 millimeter lens, then you have like a 1.5 crop sensor. Then it
Yeah.
means now your lens is like what 400 times 1.5.
It's like 600.
600,
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest advantages. But yeah, full frame cameras. I mean, I never knew much about full frame until I think I had a friend who had I can't remember, it was some Canon, but it was full frame.
It was full
I
frame.
used to look at the pictures from it. I'm like, there's something about this picture that you can't get. I couldn't get with my camera.
Yes.
Because we could shoot at the same place, but there was just something almost off. So that's when I learned about full frame cameras. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, fine, now that makes sense.
Yeah,
But
there are levels to the cameras you use.
Yeah.
You start with your phone, and then
Definitely.
on your phone you realize that you can start to shoot RAW.
Yeah.
Because the native camera apps, whether
Yeah.
you're using Android or iOS,
Yeah.
they'll give you a photo in JPEG,
Yeah.
a photo that already has kicked in settings that
Yeah.
you can't adjust in post.
True.
And then you discover that you can shoot in RAW on your phone.
Yeah.
Then it starts
Giving you
opening
more capabilities to edit.
starts opening up opportunities za
Yeah.
edit and
Then you
and
start
all.
figuring out the manual controls.
Yes.
Then you're like, okay, you hit the limit. Now you want to upgrade down to a camera.
Now you get a camera, and then you realize, my camera
Yeah.
is an APS-C.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
always
then full frame.
progress. So yeah, definitely. It takes time to get to full frame. Trust me, like unless you're very rich, that's when
Yeah.
you'll be like, I'll spend $1,500, $2,000 on a camera.
Yeah, on a
but
camera. Yeah.
Again, I think there's a YouTuber who keeps saying an expensive camera won't make you a great photographer. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, you still have to sharpen your skills first.
You have
before, you know, being able to advance.
Yeah. I think why you should get a new lens shouldn't be because you feel the pressure of getting new gear.
Yeah.
It should be because you've mastered the lens that you already have.
Yeah.
And you've reached the ceiling with it.
Yeah.
And when you buy that new lens, it
Yeah.
won't be confusing, first of all, because you already understand your camera and you understand photography in general.
Yeah.
Then when you start shooting with that, it just opens a new level for your photography. And
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wow, that's perfect from Diani. I mean, now I have to go to Congo River. I have to. Yeah, I just have to.
Yeah. So the reason I said that this is the trip that made me start using greens in my photos
Yeah.
was because of Koech.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you know Visuals by Koech, his page.
I think I've seen it.
You've seen it?
I'm sure I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just having, when you're hanging out with photographers, this
Yeah.
always comes up about color grading, and
Yeah.
he said that he likes greens in his photos, and I don't usually use greens, man. I didn't used to use greens at all. I usually desaturated yellows because yellows are your greens in most photos, and the greens. But just hearing him say that and looking at his feed, it gave me a new appreciation for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Which now leads us to the sixth photo. And the sixth photo is also tied to Koech, because that's how I met him. This photo starts the journey of how I met Koech.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, I think I saw this on your Instagram, yeah?
Mm.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
Although if I critique it, I just say it's not the sharpest. that would be my only critique on the photo.
Yes.
Like the sharpness. So maybe on that, what camera did you use?
Well, I know exactly why it's not sharp.
Yeah, what happened?
See, I just gotten the 50 millimeters lens,
Okay.
f1.8, and I was shooting everything at 1.8.
Yeah.
Because it looked new to me. I hadn't had a lens that was below 3.5, and shooting at 1.8, I felt like that was the gospel. You have to shoot at 1.8, and that's why I'm saying I'm now liking the 2.8. I've matured on this prime lens journey.
You've now learned that you're not supposed to leave the aperture open throughout.
Yeah, it's for very specific situations.
Yeah, especially if it's too bright out, 1.8. It's going to throw you off several times.
Now the thing is, because I have I think it's a 6-stop ND filter.
Yeah.
I can use 1.8 whenever I want to.
Yeah, true.
But the thing is, you won't get all the entire subject in focus. If you're shooting people, you can find that you only have their ears in focus.
Yeah.
And it's
a hit or miss.
Yeah, it's not nice. I don't even know exactly where the focus is on this image.
Yeah, but I mean, still, and again, also, that is now the beauty of like 1.8, like the bokeh behind it.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, bokeh is now the separation of subject and the background. So that's what they call bokeh. For people who don't know what bokeh is.
Yeah.
So it's like even phones today try to do some fake bokeh.
Yeah, with the portrait feature.
Yeah, the portrait mode.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's still something about using a proper lens. Like you can see the circles.
The circles, yeah.
You can't get that with a phone.
No, you can't. You can't. And you need a really wide aperture, a low f-stop, for you to nail such bokeh.
Yeah, I like the Lumix camera.
It's an interesting subject, isn't it?
Yeah, I like this picture. I actually like I like the Lumix camera, and I like the texture on. It's like leather.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it an old camera or it's a newish camera?
No, it's not new. It's literally old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's old. It has old technology because I saw the interface.
Yeah.
It belongs to a guy called Nyarunda. I shot this photo at a photo walk in Nairobi in February. I think I called you about it.
Oh yeah, where was I? Yeah, I remember about it. I don't think I was around. But I also keep telling people you should, if you want to get started with photography or just learn about it, or even if you're a model, you should join photo walks. They're
Yeah,
free.
just
You
free subjects,
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
interesting things to shoot.
Yeah, and no police to harass you.
Yeah, and no police to harass you.
Yeah, because whenever you go to town alone with a camera, or most places, and you have like a huge camera, you know, people tend to freak out a bit. Like
Yeah.
they are not sure what you're going to do.
Yeah.
But if you join like a photo walk, you're free to do pretty much whatever you want.
Yeah. It was also my first time shooting in the city, in the streets.
Oh, yeah, nice.
First time. And so this camera belongs to a guy called Nyarunda.
Yeah.
And Nyarunda is the one who connected me with Koech.
Oh,
That's how I got
Yeah.
to meet Koech. And yeah.
Yeah, that's nice how you end up meeting more like-minded people.
Exactly.
To doing what you like, which is photography,
Yeah.
content creation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. So this was in of this year,
Yeah.
February of this year, and then in March we now traveled with Koech to Diani
Oh,
for
nice.
the content creation trip where we shot the other photo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah. And also this is now edited on one of my presets.
Oh, now talking about editing, what do you use? What software do you use to edit?
So my workflow is I'll import the photos through Lightroom.
Yeah.
I'll use Lightroom for color adjustment
Yeah.
and masking. And then I'll take photos to Photoshop if I need to
Yeah.
remove distractions,
Yeah.
or if I want to use dodge and burn,
Yeah.
I'll take them to Photoshop, and then I'll import them to the phone to preview because my laptop and the phone, they're on different color spaces.
Yeah.
So I'll preview it on the phone, and then occasionally I'll use Snapseed.
Yeah.
There's a specific tool I like to use. It's called tone contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Just-
Yeah, I use Snapseed. I think that's my most used tool.
Yes,
I use
Snapseed is
a lot,
amazing.
and it's free.
And it's
100%
free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only drawback with Snapseed is it doesn't give you the color. It doesn't give you the ability to manipulate color. Yeah.
Snapseed is on Android and iPhone, I think. It's 100% free.
Yeah, it's free.
You should
It's amazing.
download it,
Yeah.
yeah.
You should definitely have it. The tone contrast tool.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
So that is picture. Wait.
That's number 6.
Number 6. Okay. Yeah. Moving on to number 7.
Number 7. So number 7 takes us to a very remote place, and I
How
just
remote? What is the most remote place you've ever been to?
it was Suguta Valley,
Oh, I haven't been to Suguta Valley.
the valley
Yeah.
below Malaso.
Yeah.
That was, there is no road. We hiked there, and you'd love it there
Yeah.
because they build their houses using rods that have been intertwined together.
Yeah.
They don't use nails.
Yeah.
It's very traditional.
Sustainable living, sustainable homes.
Yes, you should see. I'll edit a video of
Yeah.
Malaso, the
Yeah, you
first
should do
the
it.
first trip. Yeah. So this
Recently, there's this guys called Maranomans who, their YouTube channel is great also. And
yeah, it's amazing.
they've been organizing trips to different places. So I think last week or last week, but one they went to Suguta Valley.
They did.
Yeah, so it was like a convoy of like 20 vehicles, different types, but all of them have to be 4x4. And yeah, they went there and came back. I have been seeing the pictures on Instagram. They are very nice.
I'll have to check it out.
So that
there?
is number 7. The one
This,
you're sending
I'm
me.
sending the 7th one.
Okay,
Okay.
and that is
Yes.
nice.
Can you
This
guess where I
rock
shot these
feels
at?
It looks familiar. Where would this be? Yeah, okay. Aberdeen or
Yes, it does give you the vibe of Abadeas, but
yeah, where is this?
this is Kasigao. This is Mount
I
Kasigao.
don't know where that is. Where is that?
Mount Kasigao is 60 kilometers of south of Voi, and you can see even.
Yeah.
I just felt that this view.
Wait, south of Voi.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Actually, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I hadn't clicked south of Voi is towards the coast,
Yes.
and yeah, this is impressive. I mean, I haven't seen any vegetation this dense towards the coast apart from I think it's called Shaba National Reserve. The one that is close to Diani, maybe like 20 kilometers out.
Close to Diani.
There's that
It's,
national park.
Yes, it's called Shaba.
No, not Shaba. No, Shaba is close to.
I was
Isiolo.
there recently. What's the name?
Yeah, but I mean, I thought that would be the only place where there's such kind of vegetation.
It's called Shimba.
Shimba Hills.
Shimba Hills.
Yeah, I think that's the name.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is impressive. This reminds me of a picture I took in the UK, in Scotland,
Yeah.
where I managed to get like a picture where it's just like a hill and then there's the clouds sort of like dripping on the hill.
On the hill.
And yeah, this is almost the same vibe. And
It's amazing.
yeah.
So Mount Kasigao is it's an interesting place to hike. It's a rewarding hike for
Yeah.
hikers because you get to go through different vegetations.
How high is it?
It's I believe it's 1400, between 1400 and 1500 meters above sea level. The peak
Yeah.
of Mount Kasigao is between 14 and 1500 meters above sea level. I shot this photo just before you begin the rainforest stretch.
Okay.
I posted a reel with the rainforest stretch, the one with the greens. That was just before you get there, and it's just unreal. I shot it on the 50, by the way.
Oh, nice.
But I shot 2 photos
Yeah.
and then merged them
Oh, okay.
in Lightroom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is impressive. I also like the second one. Like it has like a mystery feel to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is
It's
I don't
just
know. There's something
formidable.
about hills and clouds.
Yeah.
It's usually like a perfect match whenever there's a hill and then there's just clouds.
The
moving
cloud
close by.
is-
Even if you get like a time lapse from this place, I'd imagine
I have one.
it's like very dramatic.
I have one. I'm about to send you a photo that you might like now that you've given that description.
Oh, let me change
The
this.
airdrop. Why is it
No,
10
Apple
minutes?
change it to 10 minutes because people tend to spam people with their drop
Right.
in
right.
public.
Yeah.
So they had to change the whole settings thing. So now it's maximum 10 minutes and then it goes back to private.
Okay, so this photo is now these we shot.
Oh, you cancel.
I shot these coming down from the summit.
Send it again.
You cancelled. I shot it when coming down from the summit of Mount Kasigao.
Oh, wow. Nice. I mean, yeah, this is high. This is high.
Yes, it is. It is. And
Yeah,
that the
that's
fact that you
dense.
can see the trees, you can see clouds.
How dense is this forest?
Well, it's
Or maybe the picture makes it look very dense.
no,
but I'm assuming
it's actually
very
dense. Yeah, it's dense. My friend and I got lost for a few minutes.
Yeah,
That
this
was
is
the most
impressive.
number of hellos I've said in 10 minutes
Yeah.
because we were trying to reach the other guys,
Yeah.
but we didn't know exactly where they were.
Yeah.
We can't see them. It's misty. It's
Yeah.
a jungle,
Yeah.
so we had to shout through the forest for
yeah,
many
this
minutes.
is impressive.
Yeah.
And I think also because it's close to the sea, so even if it's 1500 meters high, it feels more like, I don't know, there's that, like if you're on top of Longonot and you're looking down, as much as you're 2800 meters high, the base is maybe 2200 meters high. So it doesn't feel that huge.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the mountain doesn't feel that huge.
Yeah.
But with this, it feels, just from the picture, you can see like you're actually very high.
Yeah. It's also a long hike, by the way.
How long did it take?
It took us I believe 7 hours. 7 hours
Up and down.
to and fro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's an intense hike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is impressive. Again, something else to add to my long list of places I need to visit, which I think I reached a point where I just had to accept that I'll never go to all the places I want to.
Maybe not immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, or even some I'm just like, probably I'll never go there. So maybe sometimes looking at pictures like this, I think it makes me feel, like, oh, that is nice. It, there's that like thought of, oh, I wish I could go, but I know I would go.
Yeah.
It's like, just accepting it, and yeah, I like this picture. That is very dense.
It's amazing. I have so many good photos from this trip.
Yeah.
And so after we came down from the mountain, we went to a rock that now has the view of the mountain that we just came from.
Okay.
And that was really nice, because Mount Kasigao is an interesting mountain. It towers above the flatlands of Taita, and it's mostly rocky.
Yeah.
So its figure is powerful.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. That was
Number 7.
number 7.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8. Oh, I remember this picture. This is a fisherman's campsite.
This is Oasis Camp.
Oh, Oasis, yeah, Oasis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is you posted this on your Instagram.
Yes, a long time ago.
Yeah, and you cloned yourself.
Yes, yes, I did. I actually have the photos. I have the original photos. So,
okay.
There was a lot of work that went into this photo.
Yeah.
I'll send you the originals first, so that you can start to see where I began. And even with the originals, I've obviously played with the colors.
Yeah.
So this is the first one. Because basically what you do with a crop is you have 2 photos shot from the same camera location, but the subject has moved.
Yeah.
And then you
merge it in post when you're editing.
Yes, yes. So that's when you use Photoshop. Those are some of the scenarios where you need to use Photoshop.
In today's world, you can use some kind of AI.
Yes.
To blend, I've been watching TikTok, these videos of generative AI on Adobe Photoshop, and I'm like,
yes, Firefly.
This is insane.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's amazing,
what people can now achieve.
Yeah.
It's next level. But yeah, I mean, this.
Do you think it takes away from the art, or what are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I mean, it was inevitable to start with, but yeah, there's a very. The problem with the AI, from what I see, is everything it's creating is something that already exists.
Yeah.
So it's they're feeding these AI stuff from pictures from people, So if I go to, let's say, not ChatGPT, let's say Stable Diffusion, and I type, create for me a picture of a Maasai in the shape of Pablo Picasso. Like, is that really creative in any way, considering you're referencing Pablo Picasso, who is an artist? So basically, you're creating artwork that is similar to his.
Yeah.
So is that not like a copyright infringement of some sort? That is now the gray area where I'm not really sure how to go about it.
For me, there are 2 things at play. First of all, it's you don't just create art for the sake of creating art.
Yeah.
There's something that you're communicating with your art.
Yeah.
So first of all, there's that intention of the message that you're trying to communicate.
Yeah.
And secondly, creativity is about joining different, seemingly unrelated ideas.
Yeah.
And I think what AI will do is that it will bring a revolution to what we know as art.
True.
It's like in the past, before we had computers, for you to have, even before cameras, for you to have a photo of a place, it had to be a painting of something.
Yeah.
And then we came to manual exposures, and then photographs. And then you had Photoshop, where you could manipulate pictures. And then now you have AI, where you can, I think it speeds up the process.
Create something out of nothing.
Yeah, but there's also the risk of generic art.
Exactly.
Of having generic art.
There's someone who was saying the thought of, considering you're the one who wrote the description to create it, that on its own is creativity.
I think yes, I think that's true, because why didn't the next person do it? Why did you decide to combine an astronaut with a potato?
Exactly. So, I mean, it's a gray, it's on the corporate side of it. I think it's a gray area where, I think that's why there's even companies that are banning AI, especially photography. What are they called? Photography competitions.
Yeah.
I think almost all of them have banned AI pictures, because they want a picture has to be something, a person,
Yeah.
It reminds me of that argument about a monkey that took a photo. A photographer had a camera, then he gave it to a monkey, and then the monkey took a selfie. Who owns the copyright to that selfie?
Yeah, it's like a chicken and egg situation.
So, because again, now the people who manage, I think that sanctuary claim that photo is theirs, considering the monkey is theirs. I think I need to go back and research
how that played out.
Yeah, it went to court. I think I need to find the judgment on it. But yeah, back to this picture.
Yes, that's one of the photos.
Yeah.
And you can see there's a fence.
Yeah, you remove the poles.
So can you imagine how much work went into that?
Yeah, you have the dedication and time.
I had the time. I did a lot to this photo.
Post AI revolution started.
This was before AI.
Manually.
Yeah, this was pre AI, and even the tent. That's my tent. That's my old tent.
Yeah.
But it's lighting blue. So what I did, I have this light panel, like a small light panel from Ulanzi.
Yeah.
And then the shopping bags.
Yeah.
A blue one. I placed it on top of the light.
Oh,
so
nice.
everything was illuminated in blue.
Yeah.
And then you can see at the right side of the final image, there's a strobe.
Yeah, at the distance.
That's actually like Elementaita. And that club was playing all night.
Also they had the lights moving.
Yeah, they had strobes moving, and it was just this photo was it took a lot of time to shoot. I have so many shots from this night. I took it at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You can see the stars.
I like the stars, and also like Naivasha, the lights of Naivasha at the back. That's Naivasha town.
I think that's Nakuru, because this is like Elementaita.
Nakuru, now that would be Nakuru town.
Yeah, I think that's Nakuru town.
Yeah.
And then if you swipe to the old photo, then look at the texture of the grass. Compare the texture of the grass with the final image. Yeah. So I removed all those individual specks of light grass because I felt that they were distracting from the message that I was trying to communicate. And this was.
And I'm assuming you put the shutter for maybe a few seconds, open for a few seconds.
Yes, certainly, because I shot it on the kit lens.
Yeah. This is a good picture, and I mean, I've been to the same place, so I think this is now also what I find to be interesting about photos, that I've been to the same place, but I wouldn't take this picture, or I wouldn't even think of it.
Yeah.
But you'll be there and you think of this picture.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like I'm now seeing this. I'm now thinking of that location completely different.
Yeah, in a different manner. Yeah.
That is impressive.
Yeah. It was great, and so one of of my images, or one of my clones, has a hoodie on, and then the other one.
Yeah, so it looks like it's two people, but
it's like
just you.
Yeah, I was just trying to capture the conversations you have in your mind, and
when you're camping with a campfire, drinks, just stories, an amazing view, you know. I like that camping photo. That is
and they removed the fence.
The first time I saw it, I was like, that is a very nice picture.
Awesome.
That is number 8. Yeah, number 9, 2 more to go. We've been talking for 1 hour.
1 hour now. It doesn't feel like 1 hour.
Yeah.
The airdrop.
Oh, yeah, this airdrop thing is very confusing.
I think I should have gotten 2 of these.
Yeah, definitely. Now you've run out, or I still have more.
Same one,
yeah, what is this?
These are the Abadia ranges.
Yeah.
This is close to Shamata.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of Shamata Gate?
I have heard of it. I've heard of it, but I've been to Abadias, but I can't remember when the gate I got in with, and the one that I left. I can't remember.
Okay, so with the Shamata Gate, you get in through a town called Maironya after Nyahururu, on your way to Nyeri. And this photo, so I'd been riding all day. I shot it in the evening.
Yeah.
I want to send you another photo that is related to that experience.
Yeah. Wait, is this the picture? I think there's one I saw on Instagram where you had a bike.
Yes.
Is it?
It's the same trip. Yeah. It's actually during the same trip. That's the same photo I'm sending you. This one.
I love this picture.
Yeah. And
you are alone on this. You took this picture alone.
Yeah, I was alone.
You had a tripod.
I had a tripod. That's why I carried the big bag.
Yeah.
I wasn't camping.
Yeah.
But I had the bike, and it was on 26th, just after Christmas.
Yeah.
And I like to take that time to explore the countryside.
Going for a ride.
Yeah, a ride. And I was,
especially when everyone is at home, so the roads are clear.
The roads are clear. And where I'm riding, I was actually riding along the lake shores. This is Lake Olbolosat.
Yeah, that's the one that keeps drying during.
Yes.
Yes.
The one in Central. It's the only lake
in
Central Kenya. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was riding along it, and so this photo, the eighth photo, the one I sent you, was in the evening as I was now starting to make my way back home.
Okay.
And so the lake is at a lower point than where I took this photo.
Yeah.
And I was just climbing up these mountains so that I can get to Shamata.
Yeah.
And it had just stopped raining. I'd been riding in the rain for a while.
Yeah.
And it was on an ascent, and then I missed a gear downshift.
Yeah.
And I stalled the bike.
Oh.
So I wasn't looking at this view at all. I was just trying to get to Shamata because it had been raining and it was still drizzling. And then the bike just stalled, and then I looked up. I had just a minute to take a break from riding, and this view, it was just on my right side, and it was amazing. And I just set up the tripod and shot it.
That's a beautiful picture. I mean, Abadeas, Abadeas is a place I keep saying I need to go back. But for me, Abadeas, my interesting thing, I really love wildlife photography. Like, I don't know, there's just something about it, considering you can't plan it. Because animals are doing whatever they're doing, so you just have to constantly think, when you take a picture. And my fascination with Abadeas is it has antelopes called bongo,
right?
Which they are extremely endangered. I think there's only like 50 of them in Kenya. So I've always wanted to go to Abadeas and see if I can capture a bongo antelope.
A bongo
in its natural habitat.
Which side of Abadeas are they at? Is it the entire?
I once called the guards to ask them, how would I? Again, the worst part is they're nocturnal. So the chances of you seeing a bongo. So I asked one of the guards, like, I'd really love to come to Abadeas and capture a bongo. It was like, maybe you need like 2 weeks
wow.
to just camp there and then
hunt.
Probably put some trap sensors so that I'm like, no, I don't have all that gear. I'm just a guy.
You just want a photo. So that's all.
That will be next important. You might be lucky, come in and get it, but chances of that happening are close to zero. Because even for him, was saying the last time we saw one was like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So I thought, maybe I should rethink that whole plan. But I mean, Abadeas, the second highest mountains in Kenya. No, the third. Yeah, the third. It's
with Mount Satima.
Yeah, I mean, that is, they call it one of the most difficult hikes in Kenya. I don't know if it's true or not.
Haven't hiked there too.
Yeah, they call it the ultimate hike. Some say it's tougher than Mount Kenya.
Really?
So I don't know, but again, this picture, I mean, it has the feel of Abadeas, so I totally agree. Like, maybe the heavens were just talking, helped you to stall.
I
so
think
that
they
can
were.
capture this.
Yeah, and it was also misty in the background, and this was during the middle of the period when I was using the kit lens primarily.
Yeah.
And so when you're using a limited lens like a kit lens, you don't experiment with quality, you experiment with compositions and subjects.
Yeah.
And I was just fascinated with layers, with pics that are layered one after the other. And this was just, it was amazing for me at that time.
That's a very good picture.
Yeah, and I wore yellow.
The contrast.
Yeah, I wore yellow intentionally.
Yeah.
Because I knew where I'd be shooting, and
because even in the other picture,
this other one,
the yellow stands out.
Yeah.
And again, the tall grass, and then I wonder what color was this grass?
It was a similar color. It wasn't green. Yeah, it was during the dry season.
I mean, and then I don't know if I've ever seen this lake. I don't think, but I mean, yeah, that's I really like also this picture. And then with the bike, I don't know how to ride a bike.
You don't know how to ride a motorcycle?
A motorcycle,
Yeah.
normal bicycle, yes, but,
But-
a motorcycle, I don't know. I always think it's going to kill me if I
Well,
don't have the discipline. I know myself, I don't have the discipline to.
I love
be
riding
careful.
bikes. I'll be riding more in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
So moving on to is
The
it
ninth one.
The ninth one.
Is it the ninth or the
the
10th one
I
now?
think it's the 10th one.
It's the 10th
we
one.
did the last count.
So this is the last one. I hope it feels the pressure.
Nine.
Yeah, I think it's the 10th one.
Yeah, we are moving to the 10th picture.
Yeah. So this is a relatively new photo. Yeah, I'm trying to.
It's on.
No.
Picture number 10. Ooh.
What do you think of that photo?
So, I mean, here's the thing about a picture. I always think a picture communicates so many things.
Yeah.
If you look at a photography standpoint, I might criticize it and be like, oh, you know, like the sharpness,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But then, if you look further, like if you ignore now the whole photography thing and you look at a picture itself,
Yeah.
it communicates many things. And for me, this communicates again, like sustainable housing, like the earth,
Yes.
the earth house.
Yeah.
So this is a house I'm assuming made of clay, or is it brick?
It's brick and then it's plastered with
Yeah.
a form of plaster that has a
Yeah.
lot of sand and,
And
soil.
then there's the front part. So basically, it's a picture you can look at and almost guess the environment.
Yes.
It has like a coastal vibe to it.
It is a coastal region. It was shot in Boy. And
Oh.
that's actually not the photo I wanted you to see. I wanted you to see this one
Yeah.
because can you see this photo is overexposed here, so it doesn't
Yeah.
quite give you the depth.
Yeah.
So I did a double exposure
Okay.
where I
To correct the
to correct the
overexposure.
overexposure in the skies, and
Yeah, this is. Yeah.
I made sure to include the green.
Yeah.
Shot it on the kit lens because that's the widest lens I have.
Yeah.
And
This is this is a coastal vibe. You know, it almost gives also like a Lamu vibe. You know how you been to Lamu?
no, not yet.
Yeah, or even let's say Watamu. So the coastal houses, they usually they are very unique because I mean, in Kenya you can only find them on the coast.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I look at this, that's what I think of. I think of the coast, and yeah, this is I
Yeah.
love such pictures.
This Savo house.
That's you.
That's me. Yeah. It was actually that photo. I was sending these photos in a rush. That's not the photo I wanted you to see because I even have a hat on this one. Because
Yeah.
when I take photos, I want you to. I'm communicating subliminal
Yeah.
messages. I
Yeah.
want to wear the adventure hat because I want you to start
Yeah.
looking at this photo from the eyes of an adventurer.
Yeah.
And yeah, the staircase.
Yeah, the staircase.
These fans here, and then
Yeah.
the sky above the staircase, and these lights, and then these. You see this line?
Yeah, the leading line almost.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's diagonal
I
line.
usually love lines.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's always something about. I love abstract design.
Yeah.
I think it's one of my favorite type of designs. So, yeah, I like that line a lot.
It's a light line actually. It's not
Yeah.
it's not a painted line. It's these lights.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's how high was it at a high elevation or it was flat? Because for some reason I also
the
feel
building.
like it was the building.
It was on the first floor.
Yeah.
It's at a relatively higher place than where
Okay.
the town is, but then again, people there don't build storied houses.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I love earth houses. I don't know, like it's weird, like in Kenya or nowadays in Africa where people are like, oh, you should not build a house with like mud because they associate it with like poverty.
Mm.
But if you look at the global trends right now, people are again thinking of like sustainable living or things like that. Where they're like, oh, actually, if you build a
Maybe
house
that's the way
with
to
like this, it means you don't need an AC in the house because
Mhm.
it cools itself.
Yeah.
You don't need to all the materials are just there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's to me this gives me a coastal vibe. So it's impressive that it's actually in Voi.
Yeah, it's in Voi, and the owner he built it himself. He designed it himself.
Yeah.
His name is Chris. He also owns Kasigao Base Camp. This is Savo House on Airbnb, and
Savo House.
Yeah, and throughout the house you'll find paintings, actual paintings that he's painted himself.
Wow.
And
very talented guy.
he is talented. It's a nice place.
Yeah,
it's a very nice place. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a nice picture. So that is number 10.
Number 10.
Jeez. Yeah, we've been talking for like 1 hour, 10 minutes. I'm lost for words.
Nash has always urged me to make my photos sharper, even the video for Mount Ololokwe.
Yeah. No, I think also it's because I know the limitations of kit lens.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, it's easier to just use like auto, what's it called? Auto exposure, not exposure.
Autofocus.
Autofocus. Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
It's easier to use autofocus on, and again also with like newer cameras, especially like these new cameras, the Sony's, the R5s. If you use a manual focus, there's a high chance you're going to miss it compared to, because again they've integrated like AI and whatever thing, so it's the focus is dead on.
Yeah.
Like it's almost, you will jitter, or you'll have like a micro whatever thing. And so it's easier to, but for everything else you do manual. But for the focus,
you focus.
The technology has caught up completely right now.
So the limitation with the 50mm lens is I adapt it using a Viltrox adapter.
Okay.
And for some reason it doesn't augur well with the body's stabilization, and it hunts for focus quite a bit. And that is not a nice look when you're filming videos. So even when I'm filming videos, it's always on manual focus. And even most of the photos that I shoot, I shoot them with manual focus.
Yeah, interesting. Collins, thank you so much for taking us through your photo journey so far. The 10 pictures, I mean, those were bangers all through. And definitely you should check out Collins' Instagram. I will put one of those animation things. And also make sure you check the description where you can just click on it and go to his Instagram, and also check out Awana Camping.
Awana Camping.
Yeah, Awana Camping.
Yeah.
So he organizes like camping trips and stuff. So definitely, you can reach out to him. And I mean, thank you so much. Any last words, parting shot?
It's just don't be afraid to venture into photography. That's what you feel you're inclined to. Start with your phone. The fundamentals of photography don't require you to have a camera. For you to learn how to compose or how to expose correctly manually, you don't need to own a camera. Just start on your phone, learn the fundamentals. When you get the camera, it will be close to child's play. That's it.
And that's a place to end that. So again, thank you very much, and see you in the next episode.